Welcome back to the Cave of Wonders Dreamwalkers. I'm your Sith Lord Callous for Lord Callous TV. And this is another rancorous review. The third installment of the new High Republic Expanded Universe was released on February 2nd, and I finally found some time to get my review done. As always with my novel reviews, I try to keep them as spoiler-free as possible. So let's talk about it. Into the Dark was written by Claudia Gray, who you may also know as the author of a few other Star Wars novels, namely Lost Stars, Leia, and Bloodlines. Gray is one of my favorite Star Wars authors, of canon old and new. She has a talent for writing strong characters and building worlds without being overly descriptive, and Into the Dark delivers just the same. It's enveloping, the pacing is timely, and the characters drive the story forward as they continue to introduce the readers to a new era in the Star Wars universe. We follow yet another Jedi Padawan named Reath Silas, two Jedi Masters, Cohmac and Orla, and a Jedi Knight named Dez. Orla is probably the most interesting of the group. She holds a new rank among the Jedi known as a Wayseeker, which actually seem to embody some of the qualities of the Jedi Sentinel. Orla herself also reminded me a bit of the Handmaiden from Knight of the Old Republic. From her monotone to her Jedi garbs and the double-bladed white lightsaber she wielded, I was most intrigued by her character and hope to see more of her in stories to come. Now the Jedi are joined by a group working for the Bine Guild aboard their freighter, the Vessel. Not the most clever of names, but I give Gray a pass here. Leox, Afi, and Geode are an interesting bunch to say the least, and have been hired by the Jedi for passage to the Starlight Beacon, that is that New Republic space station nearly constructed in the Outer Rim. Sort of the focal point for all of the stories in the High Republic. And since all of the stories are interconnected, it goes without saying that the Great Disaster forces the Vessel to dock at a mysterious space station resting out in the middle of nowhere. And as the team disembarks, they quickly begin to learn that all is not what it seems as they uncover a sense of the dark side and a threat from the Nihil. Here is where we meet the Dringir. They are a sentient plant-like species that are carnivorous and highly intelligent. Coming into this read, I was afraid that Gray may have pulled some inspiration from these characters, for these characters rather, from the Yuuzhan Vong, but that's not the case at all. I don't get that feeling. Not yet, anyway. They are entirely their own creation. Now, it does take a bit for the plot to kick in, but trust in Claudia Gray. Unlike The Light of the Jedi, Gray uses a large portion of the front end of this novel to develop her characters. And while that can feel a bit sluggish, keep in mind there are 6 characters being fleshed out here in a relatively short period of time, and Gray does a great job of making me find something interesting about all of them. I believe this novel is also being categorized as a young adult, but it's written in third person and feels more like an adult novel at the core. And because readers will hop in and out of the heads of the different characters, it may feel a bit confusing at first for some. But stick with it. Gray does a great job establishing the characters fairly quickly. Each has a voice uniquely their own with clearly defined wants and needs. She provides well-sketched backgrounds and each character feels authentic. While Orla was most interesting to me, Reath would be considered the main protagonist, I guess. His character arc was fairly simple and obvious, fitting into the reluctant adventurer trope. But it was the simplicity of his character that also made him an enjoyable read. Leox and his crew helped to lighten the mood, and by the end of the story we learn there may still be more to uncover with this group, and I'm intrigued by the story that lies ahead for that trio. Gray finds an engaging way to tell Cohmac and Orla's backstory, connecting the two as Padawans. Their shared past experiences are reflected in the here and now, influencing some of the decisions they make and responses they have to certain situations. And the characters are what drive this story forward. Everything that happens is the direct result of something one of the characters does or learns, propelling the plot further along, which makes the story easy to follow. Again, unlike the Light of the Jedi, Into the Dark does not waste time overly describing the unnecessary details of the story or the characters. Gray manages to build the world her characters live in and fully flesh out each of the individual personalities. So in the end, Star Wars Into the Dark is probably the best installment in the series thus far. It's the third novel to come out, but could easily be the first. It's written in such a way that it could be a standalone novel. Gray delivers excellently crafted characters, an easy pace, and an epic plot. It's well written, though a bit sluggish in the beginning, but that slow start does nothing to diminish the quality of storytelling here. I hope to see Gray return for more stories in this new expanded universe, and I would certainly recommend Into the Dark as a must-read. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Which of the High Republic novels have you read? And what about the comics? I have a bunch of reviews for those coming up soon, so stay tuned. And if you're new here to the channel, now would be a good time to hit subscribe and smash that like button for more Star Wars content. And if you're so inclined, we have memberships available on this channel. Join the Dreamwalkers as we bring order to the YouTube galaxy. Now I'd like to thank my channel members John Matrix, Rhodes Rants, Callisto Arcus, Keaton Haas, and Chris Clark. Thank you so much for your support. Always remember, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength, and through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory, and through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. That is why I do what I love. And I hope you love what I do. This has been another rancorous review. Until next time.